We wanted to give you another update. It's been a number of weeks since we've done that, just to let you know what's going on as far as our thinking regarding the COVID-19 situation. This past Wednesday night in our Wednesday prayer meeting, we sang the song, "My Hope is Built on Nothing Less Than Jesus' Blood and Righteousness." And that song has been going through my head a lot over this past week. There's a lot of confusion and fear and uncertainty that's happening now, and yet the one steady thing that we do have is our hope, Jesus Christ. And it's very important that we as believers keep that in the center focus of our mind as we go throughout our day, as we live our lives in our workplace and in the world, and then especially as we communicate that truth to our families, that we would show and remind them that Christ is our hope and He needs to be our focus. We've been encouraged over these last number of weeks as we have been able to gather together to worship. One thing that we have begun to experience with more people coming to our services, especially our college students, is that we're getting a little bit full in our auditorium. And so I want to just give you an update on that and some of the plans we want to implement to kind of ease the pressure there for our attendance. In the past, we have had our fellowship hall as our mask-only section for those that wanted to come and worship with us, but wanted to be in an environment where everyone was wearing a mask. That's what our fellowship hall was for. We're going to be moving that over into our welcome classroom, room 101. There's a large screen TV in there and nice chairs for those of you that would like to join us for worship, but would prefer to be with those that are wearing masks. And then what we're going to do in the fellowship hall is that's going to be our pressure release valve for our auditorium, our overflow. So when the auditorium gets filled up, we are going to be moving people into the fellowship hall. We'll have tables and chairs set up there. But just like the auditorium, we want to remind you if you would be willing to social distance in there. One thing that could help us, or a few things that could help us in the auditorium as far as seating is concerned, is if you could come a few minutes early to find your seat. And then as you come early, if you'd be willing to fill from the front of the auditorium all the way to the back. And leave those back few seats open to those who, for whatever reason, had to come a little bit later. And this will really ease the pressure on our ushers as they try and find seats for all of our guests and members that come. And then also, some of our pews are very long, and what we would like you to do is move to the center of the pew if you're the first one in a pew, so that you can leave the ends available for those that come in. Now, we recognize that there are certain reasons for needing to sit on the end, whether that is children that need to leave the service at times, or ministry responsibilities, or just other personal needs that you have. So we understand that there are going to be occasions where you need to sit on the end, and that's fine. But if at all possible, if you would be willing to move to the center, that would be a great help for us. So those are some things that we are going to do to help us moving forward as we just experience more people coming out and making sure that we can fit everyone properly. I know many of you with children have been thinking a lot about our children's ministries, and that has been on my mind a lot also. And talking with the pastoral staff, we believe we are ready to begin seriously pursuing and considering what we can do to provide children's ministries. This would be children's church on Sunday morning and our Cornerstone Kids program on Wednesday night. Now, there's a lot of limitations that we have in regards to our children's ministries and our building and the regulations that we want to try to follow for the COVID-19 situation. So trying to make sure that our children are spaced apart appropriately is difficult with the limited amount of space that we have. But I would ask you to pray for us as we pursue these two ministry opportunities, Children's Church and Cornerstone Kids, that God will give us wisdom so that we can organize something for our children. We know that as adults we've experienced experienced a lot of difficulties in this, and our children have not been immune to that. And we recognize their need to be ministered to on their level. We know they get great benefit from being in the service, but we know that there is a special opportunity that we have to speak to them at their age level, and we really want to do that. So please pray for us to that end, and as we get more details and get that organized, parents will be letting you know everything that happens. So we look forward to Sunday morning. I would ask that you would be in prayer for Pastor as he prepares his message, and that you'd be preparing your own heart to receive the word on Sunday and to give God the worship that he deserves.